Black August, a rallying point for our collective liberation. Black August was founded by political prisoners to honor the life of George Jackson and the many freedom fighters, past and present, who have been imprisoned and or murdered due to their steadfast commitment to our collective liberation. While political prisoners organize year-round, Black August serves as an intentional time of reflection and recruitment into the class struggle. George the Dragon Jackson was a respected and beloved Black revolutionary who became politically conscious while in captivity due to the organizing and political education he received from political prisoners. As a result, Jackson himself became an organizer, Black Panther Party Field Marshal, and writer. He was targeted and murdered by the state because of his political leadership while imprisoned in San Quentin State Prison in California on August 21st, 1971. Even after his death, his legacy in writing lives on and educates and influences revolutionaries of all backgrounds. In addition to George Jackson, Black August commemorates the many others who became martyrs while in captivity, like Merle Africa, Sophia Bakari, and Dr. Mutulu Shakur. And Black August remains a call to action to free those who are still alive and fighting from beyond the prison walls, like Mumia Abu-Jamal, Fred Muhammad Burton, and Joy Powell. These are only a few of the hundreds of political prisoners, named and unnamed, who have not abandoned their commitment to our collective liberation, despite the most dire forms of persecution. If those who are held in the most dehumanizing conditions have not abandoned the struggle for our collective liberation, who are we on the outside to not also struggle alongside them? We must do all that we can to affirm humanity, resist criminalization, and organize away from the conditions of unnecessary suffering and premature death towards conditions of collective liberation. The motto of Black August is study, fast, train, and fight. Political prisoners who observe Black August refrain from using radios and televisions, fast between sunrise and sunset, and practice other measures of self-discipline during the month of August. Black August and the Black liberation struggle, which lifts all oppressed and exploited people, are affirmations that we must recognize prisons by any name, from jails to immigration detention centers, for what they really are: concentration camps for the working class. These concentration camps act as front doors to increase social control and back doors to reintroduce slave labor. Concentration camps generate millions of dollars in profit for prisons and detention center CEOs, surveillance companies, the politicians who get kickbacks, and any others who are willing to make a buck off our collective exploitation and oppression. No economy that generates profit by separating people from their loved ones, confining them in dehumanizing conditions, and denying them access to clean water, air, nourishing food, and connection to others is acceptable or safe. We are told that these torture facilities exist for our collective safety, when in reality they are used to disappear people, not change our conditions towards safety. In the case of political prisoners, these are people who are locked up because they are organizing for the genuine safety of the working class. If the wealthy elite and their puppet politicians were truly concerned for our safety, there would be wide-scale investment in clean air and water, public education, public libraries, and timely public transportation. These would be proactive investment in disaster alert system and real disaster prevention, and when necessary, evacuation resources. All things that actually do help enhance our collective safety. We are told time and time again there is no money for programs that edify our collective well-being and safety. Yet there always seems to be more available funds for prisons, jails, surveillance, detention centers, cops, criminalization, imperialist war, and family separations. Today, the ICE budget is larger than the military budget of many European countries, and the U.S. police budget is the third largest military budget in the world. Prisons, surveillance, criminalization, and policing practices are tools for the rich to use against their own residents in the class war. Working people can and must fight back. both from within the prison walls and among those of us in action-oriented solidarity who are outside of these concentration camps. Fortunately for us, there's always something to be done to change the conditions that cause and perpetuate criminalization, unnecessary suffering, and premature death, but it must be done collectively with fellow working class people. As working people, we must remember that we are the ones who make society run, and we have an abundance of knowledge, wisdom, and skill to meet needs according to needs in our communities. We do not have to look outside of the working class for solutions that liberate the working class. We do not need prisons by any name to keep us safe, nor do they keep us safe. Prisons, cops, criminalization, and militarization are all used against us, as we are being told that they are for our own good. We can do a much better job than anyone in the rich ruling class at keeping our community safe and holding people accountable in ways that disrupt and transform cycles of violence, not repeat them. We can do this necessary organizing work by practicing non-criminalized community defense and action-oriented solidarity with one another. The non-criminalizing work and action-oriented solidarity we practice together weakens the grip of the capitalist state on our lives and propaganda that makes people believe that any type of concentration camp can make our society safe. Both non-criminalized community defense and action-oriented solidarity require working class people coming together in principled unity to rely on our collective power instead of giving our power up to the capitalist state or replacing the tactics of the state on each other in the name of safety. The capitalist state's job is to actively work against our safety and well-being for the sake of mega profits and social control, and we should not assist in our own demise. Our resistance can and must start with seemingly small acts that, like a small stream, will grow with time and intention into mighty tides that shift our current power structure. Let us take encouragement and inspiration from our political prisoners who, even under the most dire conditions and highest level of surveillance, are proactively organizing against unnecessary suffering and premature death. Black August serves as a reminder of what is possible when people do not succumb to exploitation and oppression. The elite can imprison a revolutionary, but they can never cage the revolution. May we continue to come together in principled solidarity, even under the harshest conditions, to affirm life and dignity. The first Black August was observed in 1979. 47 years later, political prisoners are still active in sounding the alarm for our collective liberation. As the working class, we aren't outnumbered, we are out-strategized. It's time to come together in principled solidarity and start building a fight back that will outlive today's oppressors and be passed on until every wall of exploitation and oppression has fallen. Until we have won the class war and the working masses are no longer held captive by a system of unnecessary suffering and premature debt for the profit of a few. Settle your quarrels, come together, understand the reality of the situation, understand that fascism is already here, that people are already dying who could be saved, that generations more will live poor, butchered half lives if you fail to act. Do what must be done. Discover your humanity and your love in revolution. I'll show you, Brother George Jackson.